What is real? I'm sure we've all pondered this question at some point, and for good reason, because as human beings, we're all seekers of truth. And so with this Spiritual BS series, and in this video, I'll be covering various concepts, notions, and ideas relating to the spiritual path, the spiritual community, that I often find to be misguided, that I often find to cause mistakes, and lead people into unnecessary suffering as a result. Because for years I was questioning, almost through this dissociative state of being, the reality of all things. And nowadays we hear of simulation theory. We know that the electromagnetic spectrum is all that we through our senses decode. And so at some level we know intuitively that what we experience isn't all there is to know. That what we experience cannot be ultimately true, because the only constant in experience is change. And that is the very thing to understand here. If something is changing, if something is not stable, at all times stable, it cannot be real. There must be a reality underneath it or prior to it. And so we all find ourselves on this quest of knowing what is true, knowing what is ultimately real. And the key to this is to look for that in ourselves, to find that which is unchanging, unfazed by any experience, which is already here, right here and now. And that, my friends, is you. It is you, because you have not had an experience of unawareness. You cannot have an experience of not being, because in order for you to have the experience of not being, of not existing, you must be there to have the experience, isn't it? And so you may say that, yes, but what about death? What about deep sleep? Well, the only thing that happens in those circumstances is the dissolution of the world. The experienced world is the dissolution of experience itself. There is no separate self. There is no sense of self under those circumstances. And as a result, when there is no subject, there can be no object arising on behalf of the subject. But you are not a subject, you are not an object. You are prior. You are the ineffable. So really, when we're questioning the reality of this world, first, more than anything, we need to question the reality first of who we assume ourselves to be, and then who we truly are, prior to all belief. And that is when we really discover what is real. That is where we discover absolute truth. And you may then ask, like, how can you be sure? How can you know there's not more? Because everything is here. Everything is right here. And we all know reality. We all know truth. That is really the irony of it, because the very act of seeking is an insistence on illusion, is an insistence on unreality. Because when we're looking for something other than what is right here, we insist, we assume that we are not already aware, that we don't already know what is true, what is real. So I want you to really take this to heart, this understanding that if truth, that if reality is what you're looking for, it must be here now. Not tomorrow, not at the end of your meditation practice. No, here, right here. In the midst of all experience and prior to all experience. It is very simple, and for that reason can be difficult to grasp. In fact, impossible to grasp. So don't try to grasp it, simply resonate to the understanding, the recognition, let it flower in you. Because that is really the key to understanding. It is to let it flower and bloom in you. And if there is truth resonating in you with these words, you will know it. You will know it to be here. And to know that what you're looking for is right here. What a freedom that is. What a freedom, what a liberation. I'm so glad to be able to share that with you. So, I'm so passionate about all this. And I really want to work more deeply, more intimately with you, wherever you find yourself on this journey. So if you feel compelled, if you trust me, if you think that we're a good match for one another, I have a spiritual life coaching program which you'll find in the description down below. And I urge you to check it out, see if we are going to be working alongside one another. And with that, I just send you so much gratitude for partaking in this life with me. And I'll see you next time. Bye.